Alright guys, welcome back to another pickup video. This is the Hedonist edition. I have here English Pale Ale, my chosen drink of choice lately. Very nice. I was drinking that Ruby beer by the Witchwood Brewery. What was it called? Hobgoblin, the Ruby Red. But I've gotten off it. It was quite a strong flavour. Also brought to you today by... that smells like freedom. Right, so pickups. Went to a car boot sale. Not a lot there at all. In contrast to previous weeks, I've had a fair bit of luck with at least the lower end of the market. But nice to pick up original Xbox games at a car boot. It has been happening recently. It didn't last week. I just got one game, and that was a PS2 game. It was Masters of the Universe, Heman, Defender of Grayskull. Heman was one of my favourite cartoons as a kid. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, so I picked it up. It looks like some kind of Golden Axe, 3D Golden Axe sort of game. Very, very similar to Golden Axe. You get to fight Skeletor there. So, yeah, hopefully some nice hack and slash He-Man based fun. Now, looking through the roster of characters that appear in this, it's not a huge number of the characters from the actual game. You've got some generic kind of baddies. You've got a couple of the key characters of the game, but unfortunately, it seems at least from the description in the booklet, not a lot of the the characters that you might want to see in the game, but we'll see. That was a quid at a car boot. What are you gonna do? All right, next on eBay. In fact, I think the rest of them are eBay. Actually, I got kind of a bit impatient, shall we say, with a few of the Xbox titles that are a little bit less common, a little bit more expensive. Yeah, but we'll get to those in a bit. I got, first of all, for the original Xbox, Robotech Battle Cry. I didn't even realise there was a second Robotech game on there. What's the other one I've got? Robotech, I'm not going to be able to see it now when I need to call out the name of it. Robotech, where is R in the... oh yeah, Invasion. Robotech Invasion. But this Battle Cry, I didn't know this existed. It's another kind of mech game where you fly around and shoot at other robots and stuff. It's £4 all in on eBay. So I just never seen it in the wild. I don't know if it's uncommon, I don't know, but it looks like fun. Give it a shot. £4, bosh. Next one was ScoobyDoo Mystery Mayhem. Now this one, again, you know, goes for a few quid. It goes around a tenner fairly often. I managed to pick this up for £2 on an auction. I think the reason I was uncontested, more or less, in the auction was that the postage was £3.50 for this. £3.50 postage for a DVD case. Ridiculous. But I went for it, £5.50 all in, so it's not a bad price for this considering what it can go for. And you don't tend to see it around too often in the wild. Yeah, supposedly quite a fun game actually. Mystery Mayhem. Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't actually work. The guy listed it as working, as tested and working. To give him the benefit of the doubt, it loads to the title screen, but then when you try and load like the first level, you get nothing, and the disc is fairly scratched. So it's possible that he didn't realise that it wasn't fully functioning. But I did have to open a case because you know, I wrote to the guy and he says, you know, this isn't working, and I have to return it. And he did that thing that is really annoying with eBay sellers. He thought that because he had written in the description that he doesn't accept returns, that means he doesn't have to accept returns, because he wrote it in the description. I'm sorry, mate, I had to educate him on eBay terms and services, and he has effectively listed the item as, you know, fallaciously. He listed this is working, it does not work, therefore he is culpable. So he must accept a return. So I basically said to him, well, let's wait until the 15th, August the 15th, till to see what eBay say about it, when they can step in. So they did step in and they've orchestrated a return. So I may be returning this, unless I can get it cleaned. I'd rather just keep it and get the disc clean. If I can do that at CEX or something, I'll keep it. If not, it's going back. Yeah, and eBay sellers, just because you write something in the description doesn't make it law. Alright? You know, I could write in, you have to give me free money after buying this item. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Come on. Anyway. bit of diversion now. From original Xbox to 360. This is yet another game that I've picked up on the back of a recommendation from Dean, Escape to Gaming, and it is Call of Juarez. Yeah, pretty fun, pretty unique looking first-person shooter set in cowboy land. So yeah, it's just nice to have a different setting than your regular kind of futuristic wars or you know, Black Ops, that kind of thing. It's a bit different having it set in cowboy times in the Wild West. So yeah, pretty happy to have that. Only £2, so can't really go wrong with that. Right, we've got some more original Xbox games, and yeah, these are ones that I've been kind of holding out on getting for a little while because, you know, they are a little bit more dear than your usual bargain basement original Xbox titles. But I just got impatient. I was like, no, I want them, I'm getting them, I've got them, it's done. Off the list, bosh, on the shelf, happy. Right, the first of them is Flat Out 2. I already had the first one. This sequel's had lots of improvements made to it. It's a really great looking racer. The graphics on this are fantastic for the 6th generation. This game was actually repackaged and released on the 360 as well as Flat Out Total Overdrive or something like that. Basically the same game, but I went for the original. This is a little bit more uncommon than its predecessor. Got that for £5, I think it was. Yeah, just under £5 for Flat Out 2. It's a really fun racer, lots of ragdoll physics. One of the side games in it is you actually have to crash and get your driver to launch out of the window and hit some bowling pins. So it's got some funky kind of extras and stuff, but yeah, it's a really fun, well made racer. Flat Out 2, could definitely recommend that. Or on the 360 if you want to get it on that. Next one, which keeps going out, is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Yep, originally came out on the Dreamcast. I think I might actually have it on the Dreamcast as well, but I got it in the OG because I think, heresy I know, I might eventually end up you know, severely downsizing the Dreamcast collection. Keeping Shenmue, of course, come on. But yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I'm not a huge 2D fighter fan, but this one is really great because it just has a brilliant roster of characters, crazy special moves. Almost every move you do is just fun to do because it just looks fantastic. It's just a firework display of moves on the screen. Crazy stuff, and it's 3-on-3, so there's quite a tactical edge to it. You can have healing characters and characters that specialise in different types of attacks. Oh, you all know the drill, I guess, with these swap out 2-on-2. This is 3-on-3 fighters, but I meant 2D there. But yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, £8.50, which isn't a bad price for that. Yeah, happy to have that in the collection. Finally, after passing on it several times in the wild. It's not particularly rare, but it does go for a few quid. I just thought, fuck it, I'm getting it. £8.50 bosh. Alright, next one. Brotherhood of Steel Fallout. It looks like a fun game. It's different to most of the other kind of Fallout games in that it's kind of got this isometric top-down view. It actually uses the same game engine as Baldur's Gate. It's similar gameplay as well. Yeah, looks fun. She'll get into that at some point. Brotherhood Fall of Steel. What did I get that for? I got that for some monies that I can't remember. I think it's about £8. Yeah, just looking at my recent purchases. About £8. Yeah, not bad for that. Happy to have it finally. Bosh, haven't seen that in the wild anywhere ever in a few years. I've been searching for OG recently, so happy to have that. Right, the last one I'm pretty hyped about. Been looking for this for a while. Now, it is Advent Rising on the original Xbox, so yeah, pretty classy front cover there. Now, Advent Rising was a very ambitious game. I made a few notes, I'm going to pull them up, because yeah, it was, well, it's got a script by genuine sci-fi writers. It's quite an epic kind of story that it tells, intergalactic wars, trade federations, shenanigans, whatever, you know, yeah, big epic sci-fi story for this game. It was quite ambitious in what it wanted to achieve as well as a game, which caused it to kind of fall down in certain areas, you know, jack of all trades type of thing going on. Some people have said, I haven't actually played it yet, so I can't give you my personal opinion on it. I'm just going by what previous critics have said about it. But yeah, very ambitious, very large in scope in what it tried to do, and that meant that there was some kind of failings to achieve all those aims. But I like that. I like a game that strives to do a lot. You know, a lot of variety in gameplay, a lot of scope, a lot of ambition, a lot of you know, deep storytelling. I like that. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to forgive any kind of minor gameplay shortcomings it might have. Sometimes, you know, a little bit glitchy here and there apparently, but let's see what it's all about. I'm really eager to get into that. It's funny, there was actually an offshoot planned for this called Advent Shadow that was planned to be on the PSP, which is kind of weird because this didn't come out on PlayStation. This came out only on PC, I think, was it Mac as well? Certainly PC and Xbox, but it didn't come out on PlayStation 2. Although, like I said, offshoots of Advent Shadow was planned for the PSP. But a comic series did follow. After this, it kind of didn't do very well in sales, and the planned sequel didn't come about. They finished the story off with basically a comic series for fans of the game, as I believe that's what happened there. It was planned to be part of a trilogy, but again, because it just didn't sell very well, that didn't happen. So it's kind of funny, there's a similar situation to Shenmue here, potentially at least. The director of the game, what was his name, Donald Mustard, he wants to finish it. He's been on record as saying that he'd love to finish it, but he just obviously doesn't have the rights to the game, he doesn't have the funds to do it himself. So it's kind of a similar situation to Shenmue there. I don't think there's much chance of it getting the same kind of backing. It doesn't have that same kind of cult following, that same kind of passion of fans that have played it to bring it back. I don't think so anyway. Let's see if that happens, but I'm saying it's doubtful. But yeah, interesting that he said that he would go on and finish it if he wanted to. Yeah, that's it. So Advent Rising, pretty psyched to see what that's all about, and I got that for £10 total, £8, £2 delivery, 10 quid for that. It's about what it goes for, and I just haven't seen it around ever, so yeah, that was pretty cool to get that. I said that was the last game. I'm lying, there's one more I forgot about. I got Sniper Scope Complete. On a buy it now or nearest offer for 20 quid, I offered 15, they took it. So 15 quid all in delivered for this is pretty good. It's in good condition, all the parts are in there, and as you can see, pretty hefty scope there. Yeah, to play the silent scope game, you can take the front bit off if you want. You can take various different ways of using the light gun. But yeah, I love light gun games, and if you don't know, I'm sure you must do, at least by the title. Silent scope is based around this mechanic of having a scope and zooming in to portions of the screen whilst the rest of the screen remains the same, and just gives us different unique kind of variant on the light gun genre. But yeah, pretty fun game. Happy to have this to play it at home now, so that's pretty sweet for 15 quid, not bad. And that is all the pickups. Yeah, alright guys, I'll see you in the next video.